Simple ingredients to a delicious chocolate pie. You'll need 2 pre-baked pie crust. You'll notice I only have one. That's because I will be making ramekins of just the pie filling, topped with some Cool Whip. 3.5 cups of milk. This is whole milk. 2.5 cups of sugar, 4 egg yolks, 5 heaping tablespoons of cocoa powder, 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 3 tablespoons of butter. Now this is salted butter. And you'll need 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Hey y'all, it's Lippy. Happy Tuesday. And I know you're thinking, where you been, girl? Well, y'all see that big pot over there? That water bath canner? Well, I sure ain't been canning. Nope. Oh, and if you hear a noise in the background, that'd be my little pot of coffee. It's perking away. Y'all, it may be 12 o'clock noon, but this old gal, she needs some more coffee. Because what the last 48 hours has brought us, I don't even know where to begin. But before we get into this delicious chocolate pie recipe, because I have to deliver this, about 9 o'clock Sunday night, tucked in the bed, toes under the covers, just about to go to sleep, and I hear running water coming from the master closet wall, which is the wall that separates the bedroom from the garage. And I leaned in, I was like, that sound like water. Hey, buddy. Huh? I said, we got water running. He said, what? We jump up. Of course, that's the door we use. We go out to garage and we standing in water. The hot water heater decided to crack and bust at 9 o'clock at night. Oh, that's the best sound in the world right there. I mean, y'all would have an IV going if you've had the last 2 days we've had. So anyway, here comes the shop vac, sucking water up, turning water off, the main off, getting it all sucked up, evaluating the situation. He hooks a water hose to it, runs it out the driveway. Life is good, right? Water's going out the house, not in the house. But that also equaled no more hot water. I said, oh, this ain't good. So, Monday morning, which was yesterday morning. Excuse me, I got to pour my cup. Here, I'll just turn y'all around. So anyway, I call home warranty. Y'all, that's the best thing they ever had was home warranty. Will they offer it to us for next year? I doubt it. But anyhow, I call them. I said, Diggy Lee, we got a problem. Does the home warranty cover that? Yes, ma'am. Great. So they take all the information, we file a claim, and I wait. And I wait for a plumbing company to return my call. Great guy comes and evaluates the situation and says, yeah, you need a whole new one. It's an 87 model, y'all. Well, I guess it served its purpose. I said, oh, okay. He said, there's one problem. I said, what? There's none in stock. I said, you mean none in stock up the road, or like there's none, or what? Well, there's none in stock in our area because your insurance has us, if available, the same brand, the same tank capacity, which was a 52-gallon, same white, something. So they have to take the serial number, the model number, and match it to the current one that replaces that one since '87. I said, okay. And I got this lump in my throat thinking, anytime you hear the word order, is that order for overnight? Is that next week? Or is that back ordered next year? Because we're going to have a problem. Because we really would like to have a tankless, but insurance doesn't exchange for that. So anyway, I got to get a sip. Oh, that's just heaven in a cup. So he says, we're going to hope to have one Thursday. Hope? He said, I'll give you a call Wednesday. I said, okay. Well, y'all know how things have been. When they don't say we will be here Thursday, then there's a good possibility it could be who knows when. But we're going to make the best of it because, if like something major happened, you better know how to survive without hot water. Without water, you got to figure that one out. That's essential. So we're going to do this. Yeah, we have this always filled with water. I can wash dishes. We fill it up. We tote it to the bathroom. We dump it in a tub. Add a little cold water. You get about this much water. You make do. Because Lippy ain't into no cold shower. Y'all know this about me. Well, come this morning, he's like, I got to get this head washed. So I had a plan. I had me a big old bowl, had me some hot water in it, and I cooled it down a little bit, and I'm going to wash my hair in the sink. Yes, I said, okay, this is going to work out just fine. Got my cup. Y'all, it wasn't working like my mind said. I was slinging water everywhere but on my head and back in the sink. So I had to take a towel and reevaluate. So off to the shower I go, and I said, okay, I got a handheld. What if I just scoop a little warm water, throw it in there, and then rinse with the handheld, as in cold water? Y'all, any of you out there in the big wide world that's one of them folks that like jump in ice water and do all that crazy stuff, my hat is off to you. I no lie. I screamed. I jumped. I'm talking about I did everything in the world. And I take that thing and go, shoo, and I do my dance and scream and I just to rinse my hair. This morning. So I said, okay, Lippy, what you do now? You blow dry it and you straighten it, because when I do that, I get about 5 days before I got to wash it. So that's what we did this morning. But I ain't told you the icing on the cake. Icing on the cake is, I come back into the kitchen and there's water. I said, now, I know them 2 little cups of water didn't do that. So I immediately opened cabinet underneath the sink. I'm evaluating, there's water everywhere. Yeah, now there's a big old pot. So anytime I wash dishes right now till Bud gets home, I got to tote that to the bathtub. I kid you not. We have a major water leak underneath the sink. Now, it's not leaking unless you turn the water on. Thank God, or I'd have had to turn the water off, the main. Because, guys, y'all know my sister had major surgery. And her and I take turns tending to my brother. Mine is every other week. Hers is every other week. Well, she can't. She's down. Tomorrow's my day. He always gets a sweet treat. Picks up any groceries that he may need. Things like that. Well, it's going to be a chocolate pie. One, I have pie crust. In the freezer. And I have everything. His favorite is chocolate pie. Now, he doesn't like a egg white topping. Cool Whip only. Guess what? Cool Whip's in the freezer. So, his favorite treat, I'm actually going to make today with you guys. But I guess the point of all of this is to say, no matter the catastrophe, the disaster, the setbacks, we still have to do our responsibilities. One being, for me, is to make a sweet treat for my brother, for me to travel tomorrow and tend to his needs. So when I say this pie is done out of all the love in the world, it is. This pie has cost me no hot water but boiling it, a flood on the floor, rinsing my hair with cold water, because y'all know me, I ain't getting up on this camera with nappy head. Well, I lied. Maybe in the garden I got a nappy head, but in the house, I ain't got no nappy head. I don't want no nappy head, no dirty head. So, you know, it took a lot of effort to get to this point to turn the camera on. And that's where we've been since the weekend. What a way to start the week. But as long as I have coffee and you awesome friends of mine made sure I had a stockpile, life is good. So now we got to get to the recipe. But remember, you need 2 pre-baked pie crusts, homemade, in a box, in a tin. But I'm only making 1 pie because I'm going to use the rest of the filling in these ramekins. So they're going to be doughless, okay? And that's how Mr. Buddy likes his. He doesn't care for the crust. So we're going to rock this out. It is so stupid simple. Dropping you down. We rocking it out. Put your vanilla and your butter to the side. Now, if you're going to use unsalted butter, put you a pinch of salt into your flour. I'm opting not to use a pinch of salt because I'm using salted butter. The first thing we got to do is work with our dry ingredients, okay? And I will have this recipe down in the description. So there goes our cocoa powder. Here goes our flour. And we're going to give that a good mix. We've got it well and combined, and I'm going to go in with half of the 3.5 cups of milk. We're going to get this cream together. I'm happy with that. In goes our 4 egg yolks, and I see I busted one of them. We're going to mix this very well. And yes, I'm using a metal whisk, so I'm not going to just run you through the whole video listening to that, so I'm going to edit this part. And look how fast that was. In goes the rest of the milk. Guys, this is the easiest pie. Now we're going to move to the stove. I'm setting my stove eye to a medium high. And we're going to give this a good stir, and you're going to stir often. And all we're going to be doing is allowing it to thicken, okay? That's going to take about 10 minutes. But I will bring you back when we get to that point of what I'm looking for in the thickness. And then that's really all it is to it. We're about 3 minutes into it, and you can see how it's frothing. That's because it's starting to come up to temp. So I'm just going to give it a good little stir, because you do not want it sticking. Okay, let's see where we're at in about 3 more minutes. Then we'll be at the 6-minute mark. Okay, we're at the 6-minute mark, and I can feel at the bottom that it's going to get thick. That's why I say, once we start getting here, you really want to stir it and keep your eye on. You can see it wanting to start bubbling. So we don't have that much longer to go. But make sure you keep that bottom stirred. Okay, it's just been a minute. That's it. And you see it's starting to kind of splatter. I did turn my heat down from a high medium, which was a number 7.5 to 8. I'm down to a 4 because it was starting to splatter. But I know that I brought it up to the right temp. And now it's all about stirring and getting it to the thickness we want. And we're not quite there yet. We're about 2-3 minutes from there. And I know it's going to be hard to see the thickness that I'm looking for. So I'm going to try some. This is the first time I've ever tried to show, I guess, the consistency using a camera. But I'm just going to go in with my spoon. And do you see how it's, get this rag. Do you see how it's coating the back of the spoon? It's not running off. And that's what I'm looking for. Perfect. We've got it off the stove. Now it's time to add in our softened butter. And I'll tell you something else to make sure that you know that you're getting the right consistency, is to make sure that when you lower your heat on your stove, don't lower it so much that you lose your consistent low boil. Also, if you can see inside this pot, we've reduced this by half. That's another indication you're where you're at for your pie to set up. Now in goes our tablespoon of vanilla. And we're going to get this well and combined. It doesn't take long, guys, to set up. Now remember, I'm using just one pie crust. And yes, it's not going to hurt it going in hot. I'm going to bring it up thick. Try not to make a mess. Slide that out of the way. And yes, we will be taste testing this, because I've got a small ramekin that I'm going to fill just for myself. Now we have quite a bit of pie filling, so I'm going to see if I can really, well, this thing's going to be mounded, guys. Into the refrigerator 30 minutes to an hour before we add the Cool Whip, because we want it to set up. And here is my brother's chocolate pie. I want more chocolate. Look. Guys. We're moving the Cool Whip off. I want y'all to see. Well, that's not going to work. I'm trying to dig down. I want y'all to see. It's set up. Who cares that Lippy doesn't have hot water? Who cares that I have a major plumbing leak under the sink? Wow. As long as I have some Earth, Wind, and Fire song September playing on my laptop, coffee, and chocolate pie filling. It'll just make you want to dance. Yes, I cut the rug, the floor, the concrete under the floor. I sure did. Nothing's gonna dampen my mood unless Mr. Buddy comes home and says, oops, gotta turn the water off. And I'm gonna be like, oops, how long? I might just take his chocolate pudding filling for myself, depending on how fast we can get water hooked up. Don't y'all love a Lippy video? But no, seriously, I hope you enjoy this recipe. I will leave it in the description. I've been making this for, I don't know, probably 40 years. Same recipe. I never change it. It's not broke. Why fix it? But I hope y'all give it a try. Don't know when the next video is going to be. Hopefully soon. But as always, stay safe, stay well, and God bless. And put you some jam on. It's good for the cardio, guys. It's good for the mind. And it's good to burn off these calories.